Arsenal out of the Europa League. I did think Man United were favourites to win it, but I thought Arsenal maybe could get into the final. Although no, they've been knocked out by Sporting Lisbon, who did come in and give them a game, to be honest. Arsenal probably thought it would be a walk in the park at the Emirates with their home fans, but no, the Sporting fans were like as if they were at home. They were superb fans, and obviously Sporting gone calves with one of the goals of the season from almost the halfway line. There'll be a clip of it up. Brilliant goal. For Arsenal though, they will need to bounce back against Crystal Palace, and it is looking up for them because it wasn't a terrible performance. They had a good few chances which they probably should have scored, to be honest, but no, they didn't. And it is looking up for Gabriel Jesus as well. Coming back from injury, he played against Fulham and now against Sporting. So he's back, and hopefully he can help them win the Premier League. That's the only thing they can really win now, I think. It is the only thing they can win. I did think they could, I was talking about it one time, they could have done the triple. They could have won the Europa League, which I thought they could at the time. The Prem and the FA Cup, maybe, just the FA Cup. Although no, they've been knocked out of most of them, except from the Premier League, which they now need to win, or else this brilliant season that they're having will end up with no silverware for Mikel Arteta. And from a Manchester United perspective, winning 1-0 against Real Betis, they have to win it now. I think the teams left in it, actually there's a draw. Juventus against Sporting, Man United against Sevilla, Feyenoord against Roma, and Leverkusen against Union St. Gilloise or something. Whatever. I'd see Man United and maybe the Feyenoord or Roma getting to the final there, although I do think now Man United will win it and should win it, as all the teams there aren't brilliant teams. Sevilla aren't doing very well in La Liga as well. But yeah, Arsenal knocked out of the Europa League. The UCL draw, where there's quarterfinals there. Obviously, Real Madrid still in it. Knocked out Liverpool by a thumping 6-2 on aggregate. Also, just to go back to Europa League, Feyenoord winning, I think 7-1 in the second leg. It was something stupid like that, and obviously they're a team to be afraid of. Maybe could get to the final if they beat Roma. I think they could. Maybe I'd see them beating Leverkusen, although it's just Man U in the final, really. I don't see Man U losing to Sevilla. They're not doing well in La Liga. And I'd see Man United comfortably beating Juventus and Sporting. Not if Sporting put out a performance they did against Arsenal, though. Anyway, UCL draw. Real Madrid, Chelsea, a rerun of last year. Chelsea not off to the great, well, not having a great season that they wanted, especially with Graham Potter. Don't know why they sacked Tuchel, but I do think Real Madrid will win that. A huge one, Manchester City against Bayern Munich. I think I'd see Man City winning that. Bayern Munich are doing really well, but with the team Man City have got, and especially coming away from a 7-0 win, Haaland with 5 goals that game, absolutely just amazing. But anyway, they can score goals, and Haaland can score goals, and I've not got the stat on how many he's scored this season. He'll definitely get at least 40 probably in all competitions. So I do think City will beat them. Milan against Napoli. Napoli are basically in the form of their lives, and so I'd see Napoli winning that. Milan only just beating Spurs goal wise, maybe not play wise because Spurs are pretty rubbish. But there's also Benfica against Inter Milan, which will be a good one to look out for there. So, I mean, I could see Real Madrid, Man City in the semis just as it was, and then it could be a Napoli Man City final. That would be a very interesting final. It's usually two sort of the brilliant teams that were sort of favourites to win it in the whole thing. Napoli or maybe Benfica could be in the final. So we will see about that. Conference League. I'm a West Ham fan, so we'll be talking about West Ham winning 4-0 against AEK Larnaca, 6-0 on aggregate. And now with Lazio and Villarreal knocked out, and the draw has gone our way, we're playing Genk, and sort of the only two good teams in there is Nice and Fiorentina, and the only places we can play them is the final. So we sort of have to win it now, and with the season that we're going, we need to win it really. With how the team's been doing with 17th, and what could happen is that we finish 17th and we win the Conference League, and that would mean that David Moyes stays. I mean, Viera has been sacked, so that will be talked about soon. But I do think that maybe if we did sack Moyes, we won't, but if we did, Viera would be a very good shout. Although I do think he'll be picked up by another team because he has done well at Crystal Palace in the past, and they know what he can do. And yes, West Ham have to win it now. They cannot afford to slip up, especially against teams. I think it's Genk. We've got Genk in the quarterfinals, and I've forgotten who the other two are, but we should be. Oh no, and then we'd have like AZ Al something, and we can basically beat every team there because Nice are 7th in the French league, which isn't actually good, you know. So, and Fiorentina, I haven't looked into them, but we can beat them. So yeah, West Ham have to win the Conference League. Viera has been sacked though. Palace have last won. Their last win was 12 games ago, and that was against Bournemouth. They're only 3 points from the drop, and they're in very, very poor form. It's either a loss or a draw for Palace. They've basically got all their points this season out of draws. Although the question is, who will they replace him with? Because Viera will probably get picked up by probably a struggling Premier League side soon. Maybe, I think Southampton still haven't got a manager. If he wants to go to Southampton, Southampton will definitely take him. I would as a West Ham fan if he came to West Ham. Although we're not going to sack David Moyes. I do probably think it's the right decision at the moment, just with their form. Crystal Palace, and you need a change when that happens. We'll do the weekend preview for all the Premier League games. It's Wolves against Leeds, a huge one at the bottom of the table. It could get Leeds out of the relegation zone if they win, although I don't think they will win. I think Wolves will comfortably get 3 points there. Arsenal should, and hopefully need to redeem themselves against Crystal Palace at the Emirates on Sunday. The only game on Sunday in the Premier League, because there's all the FA Cup games. There's Man City Burnley, there's Man U Fulham, some good games there. I think the 4 left will be. Tell you what, I'd love it if Grimsby Town beat Brighton. That would be superb. I'd love that. It could be Man City, Man U, hopefully Grimsby, but I don't think they will. Brighton and probably Sheffield United in the last 4, and we'd have some good semi-finals there. Hopefully Grimsby can go all the way. Come on, Grimsby! I'm supporting Grimsby through this. Although yes, Arsenal need to redeem themselves against Crystal Palace. It is actually currently, well, as I'm filming this, Forest against Newcastle. It's 1-1 at the moment, but we'll see the score soon.